Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn the Traveling Trainer with GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area, about to welcome back another wonderful guest here on GoTarryn TV, Miss Elsie Trawick. Now before Elsie rejoins us back on GoTarryn TV, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you'd please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, Elsie's been on here as the authority of health and wellness from the nutritional aspect, and she's going to be talking to us today about this phenomenon known as the low-carb living lifestyle. That's right. As you know, Elsie embodies the low-carb eating habits and gluten-free and all that good stuff, but she's going to be telling us specifically about low-carb living and how we can incorporate that better in our lifestyle, and also how that ties into some of these other diets such as the paleo, keto, and Atkins and such. And so we're going to talk about that here for the next half hour and just delve into low-carb living, and who better to do that than Miss Elsie Trawick right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Elsie Trawick. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. And as I promised, side by side, we're welcoming back with us Elsie Trawick. Elsie, how are you doing out there today?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. And thanks again for being able to join us here. Really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And today, I think we asked you to come on because you're going to be telling us about this whole phenomena of low-carb eating and living. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. We're going to talk about low carb, just the benefits and some common mistakes people make when they try to go low carb.
Right.
And hopefully we'll clear up some of this for people who are interested.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, you think about low carbs like everything, like keto diet, Atkins diet. And it's a big misconception, I think, right? I mean, we hear a lot of these myths that it's the way to go, and there's a balancing act almost, isn't it, pretty much?
There is. There actually, all of us need to think about, this is one time when you really need to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
If there was one diet that worked for everyone, we would all be on it, we would all be thin, and we'd all be in perfect health.
Good point.
But there isn't. We are all individuals, and that is even more so true with our diet, because what works for me may not work for you, or it may not even work for a close relative like your sister or your mom. So we have to take into consideration our own physical aspects, our mental, what we do, how much we exercise. All of that, and our genealogy, our heritage plays into this. So we're all biodiverse, and there's individuality, which is critical when we come to this. And then you hit on it. Right now, paleo, keto, the Atkins, the low carb is making news everywhere, particularly because there is now scientific proof that following a low-carb diet, or like I like to say, low-carb living, is proven the health benefits and reversing type 2 diabetes. So there are a multitude of health benefits to following keto and paleo and low-carb, and those are two big ones, is helping your body regain its ability to function.
Interesting.
Part of it is our standard American diet is full of processed foods.
Right.
Processed foods contain a lot of sugar and trans fats and saturated fats and just chemicals, things that we don't need to be eating. And a lot of people think low carb, they don't know what that means. What does low carb mean? It means you don't have to give up everything, but it does mean you have to, if you are trying to get back into health, which means you've gotten a pre-diabetes or a type 2 diabetes diagnosis, or if you've got high levels of cholesterol, triglycerides, and other things. If your doctor is sending out warning signals, you need to do your research. Like everything else, do your research and determine if low carb is a way for you to go. A low carb means you're going to give up bread, pasta, crackers, cookies, a lot of sweets, a lot of quote unquote refined carbohydrates, the donuts, the snacks, the pretzels, the things we go to the vending machine for. You're going to give those up because those are high carb.
Sure.
They're all made with flour. They're made with starch. They're made with sugar. And you're going to go to real food, proteins, vegetables, low carb fruits, meaning berries. Or you will, like I eat, now that it's apple season, it's the fall, I eat an apple or some apple every day. Instead of eating a whole apple, you might eat a quarter of an apple with as a snack with some nut butter, or you might put it in your salad, or you might do this, that. So you want to look at the carbohydrate content of what you're going to eat, which means you also need to prepare. And that's crucial, actually crucial to any success with any diet, is preparation and planning.
Certainly.
Preparing a meal plan. So if you're going to go low carb, study, read up on it, understand what you're doing so that you have a good idea when you start jumping into this. There's a lot of information out on the internet. And one thing I want to talk about is what are the 5 most common mistakes.
Oh, I like that.
Start a low carb diet.
Okay. Yeah.
And the first one is when you're still eating too many carbohydrates. And that can be in the form of protein and vegetables. You may be overdoing it with the protein. You may be saying, oh, cheese has protein. Cheese also is high in carbohydrates. It's a dairy product. You may be eating too much fatty meats like bacon, steak, other things that have more carbohydrates than your leaner cuts of meat.
Makes sense. Okay.
So you've got to consider that. And you want to keep, if you're going low carb, you want to keep your carbs from 100 to 150 grams per day.
Okay.
So divide that up. So most of us eat 3 meals plus 2 snacks. We have maybe a mid-morning snack, maybe a mid-afternoon snack, and that can be in the form of a cup of coffee. Remember, a lot of us put cream and sugar and that kind of stuff. So we've got to start thinking this way. Your smoothie, your fruit smoothie, or your breakfast smoothie, or your snack smoothie, that all has carbohydrates in it. So you want to divide that 100 to 150 grams per day. And it's a good way to start, too. Even if your ultimate goal is cutting your carbs more, say you're going keto and you want to get into ketosis, or you want to really start burning fat to lose weight. You want to get your body burning that fat that's sitting around on us. Start moderate.
Okay.
Start to get to know yourself and to get to know the diet. So a good way to start is say, okay, I've got 100 to 150 grams of carbohydrate. Divide that up into, like I said, I like to count on 3 meals and 2 snacks. So that's 5 things. 5 meals I'm basically planning. Divide my carbs up that way so I know how much I can eat each sitting.
Okay.
Then, so be mindful of how many carbs you are eating, even though you're trying to cut back. Okay. The second common mistake is eating too much protein for your body. If you're cutting somewhere, you want to add back in something else. It's just be aware. Again, this goes back to your planning and preparation. List out the things that are low and no carb and make those your snacks. Don't start filling it with other approved food. It's like when you do the Whole30, don't make a pancake out of Whole30 approved foods. Just don't eat the pancakes. Just cut them from your diet for the 30 days. So then we're going to go to the third most common mistake is being afraid of eating fat. Fat adds, a lot of people are afraid of fat because they think, oh, fat's going to make me fat. We actually need fat in our body because fat helps carry, it's what attracts a lot of the molecules and carries them around our body through the bloodstream. We need to eat fat. And healthy fats are olive oil, nuts, olives. Oh, now I can't think for a while. Fatty fishes like salmon, and some other things.
Certainly.
So you want to eat your healthy fats. Have a little bit of heavy cream. Take the banana out of your smoothie, add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. You'll still get that kind of whippy, frothy texture without all the sugar that the banana is adding into it. So you change your smoothie from a half a banana, a cup of berries, have your cup of berries, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream with your whatever else you're going to put into it. So you start looking at ways to substitute that. Even put a little olive oil in your smoothie to give it that density, because fats are linked to satiety. They help us feel satisfied. They also, along with the protein, help us be able to make it through that hump. They add longevity to your meal.
Okay.
So you may be cutting back, but having a tablespoon of butter in your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, cooking with real butter, not only flavor, but it adds healthy fat, which will help us feel satisfied. A lot of people wonder, the low-fat craze, and we got all these low-fat snacks and low-fat substitutes with cookies and breads and all this. But a lot of people never felt satisfied. They were like, I can't stop at just 1 or 2 cookies. I'm not satisfied. And that's the lack of fat and the increase in sugar in the low-fat snacks. So if you're going to have some yogurt, have full-fat yogurt or the 2%. Stay away from your no-fat varieties, and you will actually feel fuller, and you will feel more satisfied. Don't be afraid of eating fat. Then a fourth common mistake is we skip out on sodium. Sodium does have a bad rap because too much sodium is bad for us, and a lot of processed foods have very high amounts of sodium because sodium is the preservative that makes it stay fresh or last longer in its packaging. But our bodies also need sodium. We need that to survive. So you don't want to cut, and sodium is naturally found in a lot of things. So you want to make sure that you're not cutting that out completely. And the best way to circumvent this is you can just salt your foods when you're cooking. Salt your green beans, salt your vegetables, salt your greens, I put a little bit of salt, and I use a mineral salt. I use a pink salt that has minerals in it. I put salt on my salad every day at lunch, and it does bump up the flavor, but it also gives me the sodium I do need and the electrolytes. And the fifth most common mistake is quitting too soon. We don't give low carb an opportunity to work. And remember, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for our body to adjust to a change in diet. Some of us may see results immediately, and some of us it may take the full 4 to 6 weeks to notice any changes because of the way the way we're going. And when you go low carb, your body is shifting from burning carbohydrates for energy to burning fat. So there is a change we're doing in our body. And our body is very aware of this. Also, our body is also very aware of all the changes we make to it. People say, especially as we get older, it's not as easy. Our body doesn't just immediately jump on the bandwagon. It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? So it's give your body an opportunity and give yourself an opportunity, because doing anything like this, it takes planning and preparation, and we got to do our own homework and figure out if this is right for you. Keto is not for everybody. Paleo is not for everybody. Low carb is not for everybody. We got to feed, but if you're interested in it, do give yourself an opportunity and seek help, seek guidance. Reach out to a health coach like me, reach out to a personal trainer like you. Go online, look at some of the chats, look at some of the Facebook posts and Facebook groups out there. Find support and accountability. That will help. Pinterest has a ton of low carb menu options and items and recipes and photographs. There are chat groups. So reach out and get some support to make this change in your diet. I am a big believer in low carb because I don't do well eating a lot of grains. I don't do well eating a lot of starches. I do better sticking with meat and vegetables, or I should say protein and vegetables. My body functions better if I keep away from the refined carbohydrates and the grains. And I'm sure I'm not the only person out there that has those issues. So it is also part of it is getting in touch with your body, see what you need to run at optimal performance. And that's where the bio-individuality comes in, because we are all different.
Very true, Elsie. I keep hearing about people that say they try it and they're successful, but then others do exactly the same, and then they get frustrated because they haven't lost 1 pound. But it's just like you said, I think that's a big part of it, is that we're all different. So it's almost like they have to guess and test what works for them almost.
And we do. We do need to you need to test it out. And see. I personally really like low carb living. I feel good. Brain fog, I don't have that anymore. I think people who give keto and paleo and low carb living a try will see a big difference. And maybe it's not, I still splurge. By the way, at Thanksgiving and Christmas, I still splurge. On my birthday, I still splurge and eat birthday cake and have champagne and eat cheese and crackers. And now, of course, they're all gluten-free. But just because you are saying, oh, I'm keeping low carb, doesn't mean you're not going to be able to ever eat a slice of cake again. Everything in moderation. You pick and choose, decide your celebrations or decide when you want to splurge. But if you are trying to lose weight from, say, 10 pounds to 110 pounds, I highly recommend trying a low carb diet, because that also triggering, when you get into that low carb and you really start burning fat for fuel, you will notice a tremendous weight loss, but you will feel good and not deprived. And that is huge, because when you're continuing to eat sugar, your body craves it. It's like what you eat is what you crave. So when you continue to say, oh, I will be good for 5 days, then I'll have my cheat day, that doesn't work. You really need to give 4 to 6 full weeks of staying on your diet of choice, your strict diet of choice, and not cheating, so that your body gets used to it and you flush out your cravings. You just, you want to flush them out and you want to stop them. So you have food freedom, going back to Whole30, which I love. But you've got that food freedom where you're controlling what you take into your body and what you eat, and it's not the food that's controlling you.
Yeah, I like that, Elsie. That's good. The food's, you can put better control on it and have more empowerment. And kind of like what you were touching on with the sustainability, Elsie, I know you mentioned for people not to be so focused on the temporary word of diet, you had mentioned the word lifestyle and the lifestyle of eating. Can you kind of expound on that too, kind of just telling people about sustainability and the fact that this isn't temporary if they're going to go this route?
Oh, gosh, yeah, I do. I take the word diet and throw it out of your vocabulary. It's on lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's if you want to make a true and lasting change, Make it part of just the way you live your life. It becomes your norm, not, oh, I'm dieting. Because diet also, even though the word didn't start out negative, now it has a very negative connotation, and it means that we have to give up, we have to limit, we have to cut. It's all these, it's like, oh, it becomes like, oh, you have to shun certain foods because they might come and get you and you eat them. And it's like, no, we don't want to feel that way. You don't want to feel deprived. So when you start on a new way of eating, take a look at all the foods you can eat. Not only do you want to look at the foods, but you want to look at the reasons you're making this lifestyle change. Is it to get off medications, to get your health back, to lose weight, to have clearer skin, less gastric upset? You want to clear up your skin. Say you've got a skin rash. One form of gluten sensitivity and celiac disease, it doesn't show up in your gut. It shows up on your skin. And so look at your again, stealing from Whole30, your non-scale victories of all that this change positively means for you. And incorporate that every day. Look at that list of positives. Look at your why. Why am I changing my diet? Why do I want to do this? Take the word have and should out. Make it part of what you desire. And it could mean, for someone who's struggling with their weight, no more yo-yo dieting. I want to be a size blank and I want to stay that size. I want more energy to play with my children or my grandchildren. I want to start swimming or cycling. I want to run a 5K or a half marathon or a marathon. What do you want to do? Look at your why. Not only do you want to improve your diet, but you want to improve your health. And they can be very vain. For me, I want to stay in my current clothes. I don't want to have the scale keep creeping up every year as I get older. I want to stay. I don't want to go buy new clothes. I want to look good in my swimsuit. I want to stay in my current skinny jeans. I want to continue to be able to do bar and yoga and Pilates. I want to feel comfortable doing all that and wearing my little workout tights. So, if you're going to be selfish, now's the time to do it. Look at all the reasons you want to stay healthy and be fit.
Very good, Elsie. I like that. And you had mentioned, too, about how it can take about 4 to 6 weeks for people to kind of, see some results and some change. How long do you think it takes for them to kind of stay committed in terms of, how long does it take for them to change their habit? If they're already just loaded up on the starches and carbs and they're starting this, is it better to go ahead and do it cold turkey, or would you have them scale back and just do it in baby steps incrementally? Like, what's your suggestion?
It totally depends on your personality. If you can do things cold turkey, then do it cold turkey. I'm one of those people who has to do it cold turkey. I have to pull my books together, get my research, make my plan, and then I have to dive in, because if I stick my toe in the water, I'll go back to eating sugar because I like it. And it's like the same thing. It's like I don't like to get my tummy in cold water, so I'll get back out of the pool. It's like jump in, dive in. But if you're someone that has to take it more incrementally, like say you've got to get first the idea, the concept under your belt, figure out what's going to work for you. And again, reach out for help. Ask someone, hire a health coach, hire a personal trainer, get online with some groups, talk to your doctor, reach out for that support and accountability. Those are crucial to success.
Makes sense.
Isolation doesn't get us anywhere. You talk about it to your friends and your coworkers. Talk about it and start doing it. and go with it.
Very good. And just stick to it pretty much, right? Just don't give
Stick
up.
to it. For me, it's now the way I eat. It's not, oh, this is just something I'm doing.
Right.
This is the way I live. It is my lifestyle.
It's like, yeah, for me too, all or nothing. You just have to do it. Just no cheating. And same thing, I guess, with alcohol too, right? I mean, that's got all your kind of simple carbs and which turn into sugar alcohol. So that's another one, I guess, too, that maybe a great way for them to kind of look at to where their problems are if they're drinking a lot of alcohol.
Oh, gosh, yes. We all self-medicate. Some do it through chocolate, some do it through alcohol, some do it through cookies. You know, people don't realize that a lot of us use food as a way to self-medicate.
Yeah.
We've had a bad day, we go get the chocolate brownie. We're stressed, we go down to the vending machine and get the potato chips. So food is a way we self-medicate. It's a comfort. And that's another thing, creating a habit, a positive habit. Allow yourself 30 to 60 days to get it under your belt. Because change is hard. It is. Let's just face it. Some people adapt more easily. Go for it. Do it. Some of us, me included, it takes a while. Again, that's why I have to wrap my head around the concepts.
Yeah.
And I have to keep my why. Write your why down and stick it in 7 places all over your house, in your car. Have it on your phone as your screensaver so it always pops up in front of you to give you that affirmation and accountability.
I like that. And, you know, you touched on it, Elsie. Definitely, it is psychological for a lot of people because, like you mentioned, they have a bad day and they run to the sweets. And if they have a good day, they want to celebrate and run to the sweets. So it's almost like one of those things they need to just... Yeah, but that's you've given us so much good advice, Elsie, and again, I always learn so much from you in just such a short amount of time too. But let's go ahead and plug your contact information. So if people want more, if they want to contact you and reach out directly, what's the best ways they can get in touch with you?
Oh, great. Yes, to get in touch with me, please, you can text or call 404-788-1610. And I also wanted to give a shout out to 2 good books, of course.
Yeah, please.
We got Simple Fat Burn.
Oh, Kathy Marshall, absolutely.
Also,
yeah.
Yep. This is also a way of a lifestyle that I coach, the Simple Fat Burn way.
Yeah, that's great.
Also, it's another good book, The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living.
Oh.
So, and that is by Jeff Bullock and Stephen Finney, Phinney. Okay. And then Simple Fat Burn you can get on Amazon, Catherine Marshall. But I also coach that. It's a program. It's a way to eat and a way to live low carb.
Excellent.
So you can get in touch with me.
Very
but
good.
Also reach out for anybody who's listening who has more questions. Google low carb living, low carb menus, low carb diet. And you will pull up a lot of information. Yeah,
that's all out there. And I can't remember, Elsie, one more thing, too, before we let you go. But I don't remember if we talked about the other option you've got for gluten-free, because you talked about that last time.
We talked about
Sally's?
gluten-free.
Yeah,
gluten-free living.
Yeah, that's right.
I coach gluten-free because I keep gluten, as you know, but a lot of people don't, is I keep gluten-free. And I again, it's like when I had to go gluten-free, I never cheated purposefully because I started feeling good, and I had been sick for so long that feeling good, I was like, I do not want to disrupt this. But there are a lot of people who keep gluten-free and they have a bad day and there's no gluten-free brownie or chocolate chip cookie and they go buy regular ones and then they turn their system upside down by doing that. And so it's you know, we all have bad days, but it's just stopping the pattern of self-medicating, either through food or with alcohol, that we need to break. And yes, if you're doing low carb living, you do watch how much you drink. And the same goes for carbonated beverages, lemonade, limeade, sweetened beverages that we drink during the day, sweet iced tea. Is getting rid of the sugar in our diet, because sugar is huge and it's also very high
Yeah.
in carbohydrates.
Yeah, and there you go. That could be our next. We could do 30 minutes easily like that on that right there alone.
Yeah.
Let's do that one next, Elsie, over at your
Okay.
place with the backyard. I think that's a great one we can do. This beautiful weather we still have outside. Then we'll get you
Yeah.
back on and do another one here, possibly
That
in the next
sounds
week or
great.
so. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Well, Elsie, thank you again. And as we fade to black, here comes your contact information on the screen right now. And we hope you have a great day out there.
Thank you. You too.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Elsie.